Chapter 1. The Arrival. Jack's first day at Hawthorne Correctional Facility unfolds in a whirlwind of sights and sounds that encapsulate the chaos of intake. The steel doors clang shut behind him, echoing like a cruel reminder of his new reality. As he navigates the sterile halls, anxiety grips him. The faces of fellow inmates flicker past, some hardened, others seemingly broken, all wearing stories etched in their expressions. He feels a dissonance between his former life as a schoolteacher and this harsh environment where fear and uncertainty reign. In his diary, Jack pours out his confusion and dread, with each line revealing a struggle to understand the unspoken rules and hierarchies at play. Yet, amidst the despair, he senses an eerie familiarity, a strange sense of belonging that stirs within him. This stark contrast sets the stage for his transformation, igniting a flicker of hope against the oppressive backdrop of steel and shadows. Chapter 2. The Code of the Yard. Maria's diary entry reveals the complex social dynamics of the prison yard. As she steps into the bustling space, she feels the palpable tension in the air. An unspoken code governs every interaction. Gangs carve out territories, asserting dominance while others seek safety in numbers. Maria shares stories of loyalty, how alliances are forged over shared struggles, and how acts of kindness can punctuate the harshness like a warm light breaking through the cold steel. In this unforgiving environment, Maria recalls a moment when she intervened to help a vulnerable inmate fend off harassment, illustrating the bonds that form even amid fear. She reflects on the stark reality that despite their different backgrounds and crimes, many inmates are searching for connection and belonging. The prison yard, a microcosm of society, becomes a place where humanity intertwines with survival, and Maria's voice encapsulates the bittersweet struggle for companionship amidst the chaos of confinement. Chapter 3. The Library of Life. In the dimly lit corners of Hawthorne Correctional Facility, Omar finds solace among the shelves of the prison library. His diary entries reveal a powerful transformation sparked by the written word. As he immerses himself in poetry and literature, he discovers a refuge from the harsh reality outside, a rare escape that transcends his confinement. With each page turned, Omar shares profound insights, resonating with fellow inmates yearning for connection and understanding. He reads aloud to a small group, the rhythm of his voice bridging the gaps between their disparate lives. Excerpts from poets like Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou echo through the library, igniting sparks of hope and self-reflection. In this sanctuary of words, feelings of despair recede as they explore themes of resilience, love, and redemption. Omar's journey illustrates the transformative power of literature, revealing that even within stone walls, the human spirit can soar. Chapter 4. A Glimpse of Hope. Elena sits on the edge of her bunk, clutching her diary like a lifeline. Her entries chronicle the turbulent journey of battling addiction inside Hawthorne Correctional Facility. Stripped of the crutches she once leaned on, she confronts the pain that led her here, each word a step toward healing. The power of a transformative rehab program ignites a flicker of hope within her, as routine meetings and counseling sessions introduce new avenues for growth. She reflects on the unexpected mentorship of Officer Wells, whose genuine concern pierces the hardened shell of her defenses. His encouragement nudges her towards self-acceptance as they discuss her dreams and goals, illuminating paths once shrouded in darkness. In her diary, Elena writes of newfound strength and vibrant connections with fellow inmates pursuing change. Through her struggles, she discovers that redemption isn't merely about overcoming the past, but building a future filled with possibility and courage. Chapter 5. The Family Unseen. In the dim light of Hawthorne Correctional Facility, Brandon finds solace in the shared experiences of fellow inmates who, like him, have faced the scars of bullying and societal rejection. His diary entries reveal the fragility of hope as he reflects on family visitations, moments when the concrete walls seem to dissolve, albeit temporarily. Each visit unveils a tapestry of emotions, heartwarming exchanges filled with laughter, bittersweet embraces, and unspoken words that linger in the air. Brandon describes a particularly poignant visit, where his younger sister steps cautiously into the visiting area, her eyes a mirror of both pride and concern. They share stories, dreams, and the weight of unfulfilled promises, reminding him of the love that exists beyond steel bars. In these moments, he realizes that family bonds can be both a source of strength and a reminder of the life he yearns to reclaim. His journey, though marred, is illuminated by the love that endures against all odds. Chapter 6: The Unlikely Friendship. In the heart of Hawthorne Correctional Facility, an unexpected bond blossoms between Jack and Maria. Initially, their worlds seem worlds apart. Jack is a former schoolteacher grappling with his fall from grace, while Maria is entrenched in the complexities of gang life. However, as they navigate the harsh realities of prison together, they begin to find common ground. Their friendship sparks during shared moments in the yard, where guarded conversations evolve into deep discussions about life, choices, and regret. Jack admires Maria's resilience and her fierce loyalty, while she recognizes his longing for redemption. Through laughter and late-night talk, they challenge each other's assumptions, breaking down the walls that separate them. As they share their fears and dreams, Jack and Maria discover that companionship thrives even in the bleakest environments. Their bond becomes a lifeline, illuminating the power of understanding and connection in a world often dominated by isolation. Chapter 7: Rising Tensions. As the days unfold within the cold walls of Hawthorne Correctional Facility, an undercurrent of unrest begins to pulse among the inmates. The air thickens with whispers of discontent, rising from the cracks in a system that thrives on control. Jack, torn between his desire for peace and the gnawing fear of what could ensue, senses the mounting pressure. Encounters with guards become charged with hostility, revealing a deeper struggle for power that infiltrates the yard's fragile hierarchy. Maria observes the shifting alliances with a wary eye, recognizing how desperation tempers camaraderie into something more volatile. Each diary entry captures frantic emotions, as inmates grapple with their confined realities and the unpredictable responses that authority elicits. The emotional toll weighs heavily, leading to confrontations that threaten not only their physical safety, but also the fragile bonds they've forged in the crucible of confinement. In this tense atmosphere, survival instincts clash with a yearning for connection. Chapter 8: The Escape Plan. Whispers filled the dimly lit corners of Hawthorne Correctional Facility as the inmates began to plot an audacious escape. Jack and Maria, having navigated the complexities of prison life together, were drawn into the fervor of the chatter. The prospect of freedom dangled before them like a shimmering mirage, igniting their imaginations and stirring deep-seated fears. In hushed tones, they discussed the risks involved. Loyalty to their comrades weighed against the uncertainty of life outside. For Jack, the thought of returning to the world beyond the steel bars clashed with a burgeoning bond he had formed with Maria and the other inmates. Maria, fiercely protective yet torn, grappled with her past deeds and the chance at a fresh start. As plans solidified around them, the lines between camaraderie and survival blurred, leaving them at a crossroads that would test the strength of their relationships and the longing for redemption. Chapter 9: Daring Decisions. As the tension mounts within Hawthorne Correctional Facility, whispers of the escape plan echo through the stark hallways. Jack and Maria huddle in the shadowy corners of the prison yard, their hearts racing with anticipation and fear. In hushed tones, they discuss what freedom means to them, a glimmer of hope against the backdrop of steel bars. For Jack, it's a chance to reclaim a life he lost to circumstance, while Maria dreams of finding her family and mending the bonds fractured by her past. Each inmate involved in the plan reflects on the sacrifices they're willing to make for a chance at redemption. Bonds strengthen under the weight of shared risks, as camaraderie blossoms, an unbreakable thread woven through desperation. As they prepare for the unknown, the gravity of their choices looms large, testing the limits of loyalty, courage, and the desire for a life beyond confinement. Chapter 10: The Consequences of Freedom. The echoes of clanging steel doors reverberate through the facility as the aftermath of the escape attempt settles in. Inmates huddle in corners, their expressions a mix of anxiety and uncertainty. Jack reflects on the chaos of the night, torn between the thrill of freedom and the harsh reality of their choices. He pens down his emotions, detailing the heavy weight of guilt that now shadows his thoughts. Maria, too, grapples with her decisions, realizing that the bonds forged in confinement are fragile, easily shattered by an act of desperation. The repercussions ripple through the prison, with guards on heightened alert, leading to increased tensions and punitive measures. In this moment of reflection, the inmates confront the stark truth that freedom, however tantalizing, is intertwined with the burden of consequence. They share guarded conversations about hope and regret, understanding that true liberation requires more than mere escape. It demands accountability and courage to change. Chapter 11. Shattered Illusions. As the dust settles from the attempted escape, the atmosphere within Hawthorne Correctional Facility hangs heavy with a sense of disillusionment. Inmates gather in small groups, sharing stories of the night's chaos, each account tinged with a bitter realization: freedom is not the idyllic dream they imagined. Jack reflects on the momentary adrenaline rush that quickly faded into despair. What once felt like a chance for liberation now looms over them as a reminder of their limitations. Maria, her voice trembling, speaks of shattered dreams, admitting that the stark reality of their situation often eclipses the hope she so fiercely clung to. The thrill of escape transformed into the crushing weight of regret and uncertainty. In their newfound confinement, the emotional toll becomes apparent as inmates grapple with the fragility of hope and the harsh truth that freedom, when poorly sought, can slip through their fingers like sand. Chapter 12. Rebuilding Trust. As the dust settles after the attempted escape, the atmosphere in Hawthorne Correctional Facility is charged with a mix of tension and hope. Inmates grapple with the aftermath of broken bonds and lingering doubts, fearful of revealing their vulnerabilities. However, within this crucible of regret, Jack, Maria, and others begin to seek solace in each other's stories, finding strength in the shared experience of hardship. Jack's diary entry reflects on the fragility of trust, noting how it can be both easily shattered and painstakingly rebuilt. Maria organizes small gatherings in the yard, encouraging dialogues and sharing, while Brandon becomes a mediator, drawing on his own experiences of isolation to foster understanding among his peers. In this journey of rebuilding, the inmates learn that trust is not merely given, it's earned through honesty, vulnerability, and the commitment to remain present for one another amidst the shadows of steel. They begin to redefine their connections, illustrating the profound resilience of the human spirit. Chapter 13. Embracing Change. As the shadows of their past begin to fade, the inmates of Hawthorne Correctional Facility find themselves on a path of transformation. In this chapter, each diary entry becomes a testament to personal growth, revealing how their experiences inside have reshaped their identities. Jack reflects on lessons learned through friendship, while Maria channels her energy into advocacy, striving to empower others with her story. Omar shares how poetry has become his voice, inspiring other inmates to explore their own creativity. Elena's participation in new rehabilitation programs ignites a spark of hope as she expresses gratitude for the mentorship that guided her toward recovery. Meanwhile, Brandon writes about the newfound strength he's discovered in vulnerability, embracing his past without shame. Amidst the harshness, they cultivate dreams of redemption, fueled by the promise of second chances. With each shared reflection, they realize that embracing change requires courage, and they are ready to step into the light.